Well, even so, I was thinking like LaCrosse, you would think maybe there would be some,
Yeah.
because it's not like they're driving around that's like their only thing to do. It's something that it's smart that they're available and they can go on doing whatever they're doing.
Uber happened because taxis were limited by the community they were in. So if you go to New York City, there was a medallion you had to buy. There was a limited number of medallions, and so because there was such a limited number of medallions, those medallions were worth like 60, 70, maybe even more than that. I've heard up to $80,000, but it could have been higher than that for the medallion, for the thing that you put on your car that makes you a taxi. Well, then because of that, if you're starting out and you're going to get them, you finally got your opportunity to buy the medallion, right? What are you going to be doing? You're going to put all your money in the medallion, so then you're driving a junk car, right? So there was a demand from the fact that there were so many junk cars running, and like a guy gets out and he's wearing his, $3,000 suit, and he goes to get in a taxi, and it's, not only is it junk, but the back seat's dirty, and he gets the suit dirty. That reduces value. Then on top of it, there were locations because of like crime and basically all upcoming areas are generally like being pushed into the areas that were regentrification happens because the value of the area has dropped so much that investors come in and buy it, but it goes out, but it's still a danger zone, while it's being regentrified. Brooklyn was an example of this. And so taxi drivers won't show up there. So to get a taxi there, you had to make a phone call and usually wait 20 minutes. What Uber did was it leveled the playing field. Now you can get anybody can do it, so you take the medallion away. That's what the cities are. So Uber has been fighting city after city after city because the city, once Uber comes into the city, they're like, what do you mean we control who can travel in a car and get paid? You can't do this, right? So they sue and they go into court, they fight, and Uber's lost some and won some. They've been thrown out of some cities. But that was a playing field from the aspect of the guy doesn't have to buy the medallion. All he has to do is turn the app on and turn the app off. See? Now, on top of it, the buyer, right, who couldn't get a cab in a different place, now can hit a button, see how far an Uber is away, pick one, and they'll be there in 4 minutes. So now he doesn't have to wait. So in some context, what Uber was really selling was a time, basically time. So like instead of having to wait for a taxi cab for 25, 30 minutes, you could find an Uber much quicker. What's really funny is in New York now, you can actually pick an Uber and 6 cabs will go by at the same time because there's less demand for the cabs. So they'll be like, you'll be waiting for your Uber when you just saw a cab, you know what I mean? So now there's like, it's more difficult to, you're really not gaining time in some scenarios. Although the places like when I was in Texas, the first time I ever used Uber was in Texas at the last meeting I was at. And it's astounding, like how in areas where it would be really hard to get transportation, it's become very easy. So now you got a feedback loop that allows you to get, which is very strict. And I mean, they're looking to get, they're trying to enhance the service so that they can get a better feedback because the quantity of feedbacks is commonly right. Then the other two is there was.
Ever used Uber?
I didn't use it until I was at that thing, and it was like literally like where I was at was the conference was way away from downtown, and so to get a taxi out there on a normal day would have been hard. But because you had Uber, there was like and even at the airport, they're lined up. As a matter of fact, the airport in San Antonio had 2 different lines, one for Uber and one for taxis. And
Did you ever see how many there are?
there was like 25 down there. And this was at 9 o'clock.
This is at the taxi. I just mean in the whole city. Uber drivers versus
taxi
drivers.
Well, the way that it's just like on Google Maps, when as you come in and out, but as it's a map that you use, and you pull it in and out.
Do they have people on the Crosse line?
No, there's certain areas that aren't. I don't know. I have to look.
Madison does.
Does it? Yeah. So basically, it's just there's the app.
Well, even so, I was thinking like LaCrosse, you would think maybe there would be some, because it's not like they're driving around that's like their only thing to do. It's something that it's smart that they're available and they can go on doing whatever they're doing.